I'd like to sit right
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please, your chair.
No, thank you.
You sure you can do
See what you did? Here's just water.
that?
How you doing?
Might clean the floor.
Okay, so we have public here. Do we have any public that would like to speak? Anybody raise your hand and introduce yourself?
Royce Foster. I live up on 302 South Madison. And I just gave you a handout. I've been having a cat problem. And I just put this together just to show you what I've been going through. And I'm not anti-cat, but they have their place, not in my yard.
Yes.
I did a front porch project. Mainly I tore out all my boxwoods. I cut them out, dug out the stumps. And the reason I did that is the cats have been sleeping between the boxwoods and the foundation. Because of that, the whole north side of my house, I actually, if you go jump down a couple items there, I finally cleaned out all the flowers that were there. I put down a weed barrier and installed a river rock because cats were just using the whole north side of my house as a litter box. On the front end, on the porch, after I tore the boxwoods out, I decided to go ahead and replace the lattice and everything. That doesn't have anything to do with the cats, but it was part of the project. So I took the pressure washed it, painted it, put all brand new lattice up. And then I hauled in about 16 bags of fresh topsoil. And I have planted native wildflower plants in there. And the cats have been digging it. Okay. I actually replanted one of the wildflower plants a couple days ago. It didn't get dug up, it got covered up when the cat was covering up its poop. Okay. And so consequently, I have ordered, and I'm supposed to have them tomorrow. I'm getting a couple of these, and I don't know how good they're going to work, but they're ultrasonic light triggered by an animal that walks into the area. It covers 120 degrees, and we'll see if that helps. I don't know. I'm always skeptical of those kind of things, but got to try something. On the west side of my garage, I had planted wildflower seeds, not plants. And the cats got to using that as a litter box. So I did order this. It's called, well, it's called a cat scat mat. They're plastic, they come in rolls, and they got little plastic spikes, soft spikes that poke up. And I've rolled that out, and I replanted, and I've got wildflowers coming up through there right now. The only problem is it's hard to weed or do anything else with all that plastic and stuff sticking up out of there. I have chased cats out of my garage. I took my dog out here a couple of weeks ago in the morning for his morning outside walk, and there was 5 stray cats in my alley. 2 of them are local that stay over around the duplex. And then there was 3 black cats. I don't know where they came from. But anyway, I'm pretty much getting pretty fed up with having to deal with the cats, and I'm going to start trapping them. Now, I've trapped them before and have taken them down to the shelter. Now, I think Montgomery County has this free roam law that for cats, is what I understand.
TNR, yeah.
And I don't think that's right. I just don't think that's right. Do they have a free roam to come into my yard, go into my garden? I planted a garden a few years back with tomatoes and radishes and other things, and I had cats in it, so I don't know what can be done, but I personally am just fed up with a cat problem, okay?
Understandable.
So that's all I have to say.
Yeah, it sounds like you've really had issues. I sympathize with that
And I
too.
sympathize because I did the same thing for my house. I had to take all my shrubs out from the front because as soon as we walked out of the house, all you could smell was urine.
I did too.
And it was overpowering, and it was just.
I'm hoping that maybe with the house getting fixed across the street will help a little bit, because that used to have a broken door and cats were going in and out of it all the time. So, I understand they need a place to live, they need to eat, but I just don't need them making a mess out of my property.
Well, my name is Dana McDaniel, and I live near Royce, and I'm a caretaker of some of these cats. I don't know if everybody is aware, but we do have a local TNR group that actually I think it's just a couple of people, and they trap.
What's TNR stand for?
It stands for trap, neuter, and return.
Okay, thank you.
So most of the shelters will not receive any TNR cats. You can tell by the snipped ear, because they are local cats that nobody takes care of. They're not owned by anybody. Some of them are strays, from irresponsible pet owners, and some of them are feral. So people like myself feed these cats because that's basically how they live. And I agree with Royce. There's definitely an overpopulation, but if we did not have this local TNR group, we would have even more cats than we have now. I don't know what the solution. I've thought about this ever since the email or the text came out for the ordinance, which I personally think is a little outdated, but it shouldn't be. The caretakers, and by caretaker I mean the people that feed and water the cats, and some people give shelter. We're just doing what we do when we love cats or any kind of animal. If it were dogs, I would do the same thing. But I realize it's a nuisance for some people like Royce, and I do sympathize with that. My gardens personally are not bothered, but I know Royce has had ongoing problems for a while. So I don't know what the solution is. I've thought about it all week. I thought of something like a community feeding area, which would take a lot of volunteers and donations as well, and a place to feed. So, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but starving our cats out, I don't think is a solution. I just don't. It just is not a good idea. I don't think that's going to help anything, not feeding the cats. But that's where I'm at on that.
I don't know that there is a good answer to it from anybody's vantage point. This trap and neuter would be great, but is the person that's doing that, are you on the hook for paying for when you trap one and it gets neutered, or do you take it somewhere?
No, actually, they have like a deal with the vet, so they've trapped and neutered like over 100 cats already this year, and it's not just Darlington, it's Crawfordsville, it's Montgomery County, basically, And I know Heather, I can't remember her last name, she lives right outside of, right, Heather, okay, all right, I'm talking about you.
Hi.
So, yeah, and I know I was just talking about your TNR Cats Limited.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I'm here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so she's the one that does, you and I think you have some people that work for you or work with
I
you.
have a couple volunteers, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you might want to explain what you do and how it helps the cats. And
Yeah.
I'm
Have I
trying,
missed
but
anything?
Yeah.
I tried to get here. I was at work.
I understand. I get it.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what you guys have talked about. But I know there's,
I'm the big complaint.
are you Royce?
Yeah.
You're not the only
Hi,
one.
Royce. I'm Heather. How are you?
I'm right behind you, sir.
I am too.
I understand.
So what we've done in Crawfordsville has been amazing. I can give you names of people that live in different neighborhoods where TNR does work, and it's amazing. It actually, no more fighting, no more spraying, no more kittens. That's what we are trying to do, is keep the population down, because obviously we work for the ones that love them, we work for the ones that don't love them, because we all want to see less cats on the street. So we're all working towards the same goal. It's just whether you choose to do it humanely or not. So TNR is trap, neuter, return. And I know a lot of people don't like the R in TNR. They're like, if you're gonna trap the cats, just take them. Just take. The problem is there is nowhere to take them. The shelter, our shelter in Crawfordsville is overflowing. And when you get that many cats in a small area, they just get sick. And then people are complaining, we don't want to go there to adopt because they're always sick. And the TNR, to me, I've done my research, and this is what I've chosen to do. It works. It does not work overnight, but this problem has taken decades and decades to get to where we're at right now. So of course, I'm going to say it's a good program. I started Cats Limited because I was tired of seeing kittens that were born and just eaten alive by maggots in people's. They're like, oh, it's nature, and I'm like, no, that's not nature. They're right outside your door, and we've been really successful in a lot of neighborhoods. I'm really proud of what we've done. The mayor has taken notice, and he's now asked the AWL to do their own. So when that news came out, I thought this is a great time for us, Cats Limited, to focus on the smaller towns. If AWL is going to do Crawfordsville, I thought, let's go to the towns that don't have the resources to trap, neuter, return, and see how we can help them. So that's why I'm here. I'm really excited to help. I'm really excited to show
I think
people.
the biggest issue that everybody has is because of the mess they're making, the pooping and their landscaping and all that kind of stuff. And I think
Right.
that's
The destruction of their things, yeah.
Right.
agree
My
with that.
porch. I can't even put anything on my porch. I used to like to have throws out there and pillows, and they got sick on them, and they pooped on them, and they drug them off, and I just quit doing it. And I don't like that. I like to have my property look nice, but when it smells like urine and cat feces, it's not nice. And
Yes.
they
I agree.
ruined all my plants. It's awful.
Right.
So I
And
think
I
they're
feel
trying,
sorry for
I
them,
think
but-
we're just trying to find a solution
Yeah.
to, I mean, we're not gonna make everybody happy, we know that.
The
But,
Right.
gardening.
Right.
Yeah.
but to kind of get this back down,
Right.
so.
Right. So how many are you guys seeing? I mean, like,
I think, would you say downtown alone there's 15?
They're all over.
At least 15. There's a bunch. And
There was 39
I've
complaints
talked
of
to Heather
destruction
about
of
it before,
cats.
and we know, she knows that there's a big problem here. I mean,
Yeah, we got 39 complaints. It's the destruction. It is the release. It's the R in that. It's great that they're being neutered, and it's great, but it's the release that's the issue. I'm the clerk treasurer. I'm the one that hears the complaints. That's why I can tell you that.
No,
But
absolutely.
it's just like she said, you know, because or like Royce's thing, you know, people are having to take out their landscaping, their porches are being destroyed because the cats.
Right.
I mean, I have dogs. My dogs are not allowed to go and destroy anything or be on anybody's property or do anything.
Right.
I love all animals too. That I think is the issue is,
Right.
you know, there's a leash law. And then you talked about the county's ordinance, but each town has adopted their own set of ordinance, which that plays in each town.
Right.
And why this was done in 1982, I realize it's 1982, but that doesn't make it less effective. There's ordinances that sit back there that still go for this town because every council's had to do ordinances so that we don't have just willy-nilly and, you know, whatever. Because somebody was here in 1982 that said,
There's a problem.
there's a problem. Yeah. And so they came up with this thing.
I get that.
And I think that's one of the issues, both not just here at Crawfordsville and everywhere else in the county is I pay dog tax. I pay a tax for my dogs, you know, and if you have an animal, you do, if you have dogs. But
Yes, absolutely.
I just hear both sides of it, and that is the biggest complaint is that release and the destruction of it, because I'm not allowed to do it. If my dog goes and does that, you're going to haul my dog off, and then I'm going to have to make sure I pay taxes, and I'm going to have to pay a fee to get him back, and et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
but
Dogs
that's
are definitely different because, you know, people are held accountable for them.
they really are.
And
They are.
people that get cats and let them.
This is
have
in
litter
your
after
stack
litter.
too.
It's
This is okay.
I totally understand that. And if I didn't believe in this, I would not have spent. Let's see, we spent $80,000 last year, and I have one major donor who believes in this enough to have towns try it, to just try it and see if it's not going to work overnight because once you fix them, we do have to return them. We cannot apply for a lot of the grants if we do not return them. We have to answer to veterinarians. I mean, we have to answer to a lot of people. And the return, even though the people don't like it, they're like, wow, it's so different. It can be different, but if you don't try it, it's never going to be different. And then what do? You trap them, you kill them, you dump them in the country. That's definitely a death sentence. But the vacuum effect, more are going to move in because more cats will find the food source that they were using. And it's just this vicious cycle. And I totally understand how they can be destructive, but it's not, it's like hold the people accountable, you know? And that's what we're trying to start doing. It's like, hey, this cat has had 4 litters, you know, let's call you out on it. Come on, you know? So it does work. It's not an overnight fix. I don't think anything you can do is an overnight fix. It is a humane solution. So I guess, I mean, I can get you names of neighborhoods in Crawfordsville that, you know, the people are really, really happy with the work. And it's ongoing too. You see a cat that's not ear tipped, you have to call us because it takes one female to start it all over again. So we do have to have people invested in the communities, you know, enough to call us and say, hey, there's some more. We do try to take kittens and friendly cats and get them adopted out. We do work with a couple rescues. But we ourselves have become a rescue, and I'm trying to get back to TNR only. So, yeah, it's a good thing to offer. I'm happy that we have the funds available, because that's one thing nobody wants to spend money on, is fixing a cat that's not theirs. And none of these cats are anybody's. So, that's where we can, we can help. We're happy to help. We want to help, and we hear the frustration all the time. I don't know what deterrents you guys have used. We've given a lot to people that have worked. I don't know what you're using now as deterrents.
What are you using? What is the suggestion?
Well, at Indian Springs, the apartment complex, one lady just uses a water bottle and it works. A lot of people say citrus peels. Yeah, but the spikes, if you're doing your garden, they really don't like when they're trying to dig and there's a spike there. And it doesn't hurt them. It's plastic. It's just they don't like it. They'll move on, And we're also happy to, offer those to you guys. We're really about pushing a human solution.
So do you offer, and I'm just, I personally don't like the return thing either, to be honest. And I realize there's not a lot of good answers. I can respect that. But do you offer, if there was 20 people in Darlington, because anything's better than the situation we have now. And so do you offer traps? Do you have traps that people can get, that can use?
Yep.
And is your stance then, because you're saying it makes it better, because is your stance that by neutering them or sterilizing, or however you want to say it, that's not going to fix the scat problem, might fix the spray problem and the smell problem, but it's not going to, I mean, they still have to do their business.
The destruction problem. Yeah.
Somewhere. So again, it's, I don't know that there's a solid answer to it. But if you offer, it'd be more about getting people in town to buy into something, even trapping them and trying to help the situation. But, obviously Dana's saying she already tries to do it, and I'm sure there's...
No, I don't trap.
Oh,
I don't trap. I'm a caretaker. I'm a friend of Lex's.
But
Yeah.
that would require people in town to be willing to take the time to do it, to help.
Yep.
But I have noticed, I have quite a few around my house too. I haven't personally noticed a lot of destruction other than getting on my vehicles once in a while, and that does annoy me. But I've seen it noticeably worse in the past year, probably. It just seems like in the last year it's got way worse than. And what does I believe I read somewhere, and forgive me if I'm wrong, that there's a class that people have to go to teach you how to do the TNR properly or something like that, training or something?
You don't have to. We're happy to come out and just show you. I've probably been doing TNR probably for 3 decades, but I just started Cats Limited when I got, our major donor, and then I'm like, watch out. I'm going to go tell everybody. I'm going to teach people what I've learned works and what doesn't work. And it's gone really well. So no, you wouldn't have to take a class. If we could just get some invested community people, and in the hot spots, where they're at, we could come out, we could do it with you the first few times and just, tell you what's important. It's always important to cover them, or else they're gonna, bang themselves up against the cage and they're gonna bloody themselves. It's just more of if they're dedicated trappers and they want to work with us, we ask that they take the class. If it's something like this and everybody's just like, okay, we got to do something, then we'll come out and, we'll help. We'll we'll help do it, we'll help, teach you, because I think experience is probably the best teacher. That's what I believe.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
I trapped one cat and I took it to the shelter. Okay, and they took it. Well, let me ask you this. I have a trap and I'm ready to trap because I've been having a lot of problems. And let me ask you this question. If their ears are notched, do we let them go? And if they're not notched, do we call you?
Yes. Yes.
Does a notch mean they've already been neutered? I don't know. I don't have cats, so.
Yeah, the ear tip,
They've cut part of the ear off.
the left ear, and that's just so we know we've already done that one. It doesn't have to go back to our vet and,
But how does that help? I have problems like Royce does too, so I'm just asking.
Yeah,
That's
she
okay.
missed all Royce's issues.
Yeah,
After he talked about
I
it.
get, I mean, you're still releasing them and they're still going to be on the porch or in the garden or wherever. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
absolutely.
I guess,
Yes.
I mean, I'm not trying to be against it, but where is like I have ownership for my dogs.
Yes.
Where does the ownership come in at play with that?
That's a great question.
Okay, and I'm sure there's no answer for
Yeah,
that.
they're-
But that's
they're actually-
that's my concern because
Yes.
releasing them isn't going to.
Yes.
It's not going to fix the problem that Royce has. It's not mine, yours, or anyone else's. So that's my question. Where does that come
Can
from?
I make a comment? I did a little research before this meeting and looked up about what towns do for out of control cat populations. And P&R was the number one helpful thing to do. Eventually, and like you said, it's over time. It doesn't happen
Right.
overnight. The cats die out.
They do.
The TNR cats
Through
will
natural
die out.
attrition.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, but I thought you said earlier though that the cats are gonna seek food anyway. So if we have people that's still feeding these cats, it's still gonna draw in more.
here's the thing.
Correct.
I thought
Yeah.
that's what you said.
Yeah.
No, you're
Okay.
right.
Okay.
When I said you take them out, like if you're gonna trap them and kill them or trap them and dump them in the country, okay, so that leaves an open spot. And guess what? More cats, not from the same colony. They're gonna come in and it's called the vacuum effect. And it
I read about that.
leaves a hole where former cats have gotten shelter and food, and so now they're moving. Colony cats are bonded to their environment. They really are. They're bonded to their environment and they're bonded to their colony. And so if you fix them and return them, they're not going to let other cats come in. So that's what happened with Indian Springs. The property manager was hiring a man to come in, trap the cats, and they were killing them. So then they have the next spring, they have all these cats, and they're like, more? What? Okay, so I said, and I worked for 2 years to get the new property manager to just let me try it. She was a naysayer. She's like, there's no way that's going to work. That's stupid. I'm sick of these cats. I just want them out of here. And guess what? It's still like that to this day because they have, you said where the accountability comes in, it's the caretakers. If a caretaker, I know, Lex, if there's a new cat that's not tipped, we got to be on it. We got to come out here. We got to get it to our vet, return it, and then it's even keel. I know it. I hear the frustration. I really do, and I tell you, I get so mad at people that are saying free kittens. It's like, fix them first. You have the ability right now. Fix them so then they never have to go through a lifetime of just having, And once you see one dragging its uterus around, like we did last year with maggots, you'll be like, yeah. let's get them fixed because we don't want to see this. They're healthier. I'm not going to say they all stopped spraying, but so far they have. I have talked to people that are like, that didn't help this one. Well, he's 10 years old. He's always been a street cat, you know. But I can't stress it enough. It really does work. It takes patience. They will die off through natural attrition. It's a part of life. We get it. But the thing we concentrate on is it's the humane way, and even teaching the next generation accountability, you know. But I think the accountability lies with and you guys probably are very frustrated with the people that feed them, but they're compassionate. They don't want to see an animal go. But I'm with you on if you're feeding it, you fix it because that's where it stops. And I just can't tell you enough how.
And that's basically what, I mean, you could read this, I guess, in a few different ways, but essentially that's what this says.
Yeah.
Is that the people that are,
oh, and I didn't mean that.
no, the people that are feeding it are essentially taking ownership of it.
Right.
That's what, I mean, that's basically what this says, and I'm not saying that it's an older, I mean, it is an older thing, but it basically says the stance that the town's taking for it, that we're not saying you can't feed a cat or a dog. I mean, we're all compassionate people. I think we all own animals pretty much.
Right.
So it's not that, I mean, we're not saying euthanize all of them or whatever, but it's what this is saying, and then we would be happy to give you a copy just to see what it says, that if you're going to feed a stray cat or stray dog, you're basically saying you're assuming ownership of it. So if you're going to do that, then you should be the one to get it spayed and neutered. Now, if you want to be part of your program, then maybe they don't have to pay for it. They can bring it to you and not have to pay for it, but it's their responsibility to try to do something to help the situation.
I do have a comment on that. Most of these cats that I care for, I actually share them with Lex. They don't let you touch them. I haven't been able to touch any of these cats. There's no way I could ever contain one on my property or inside my house because they just won't allow that. Yeah. So as a caretaker, I mean, I'm feeding and watering, and yes, I report cats that need to be trapped and fixed.
Right.
But I mean, to be penalized for that, that's the part that I have a hard time with. It's like we're penalized for caring about the stray cats in the area. And that's...
I mean, you can respect all the money and things of property destruction. I mean, you see that side too, correct?
Oh, no, of course I do. Yeah, I've
that's
talked to
why
Royce before.
That's why we're trying to figure out.
But do you think penalizing, like,
well, how do we stop
finding people is going to help the situation is the thing?
The hope is that, do I think penalizing people, in all honesty, is going to stop the issue? No. Is it going to really help anything? No. But maybe knowing that this is in the books and that could happen would encourage more of the feeders to get with her and get a program like that. I still sit
education.
Here.
Education is the key.
I still sit here.
It is.
I can see what she's saying, and it makes a little bit of sense to me, but I don't see where returning helps our problem.
So what do you think? I mean, I don't have a dog in the fight, but if we're not going to return?
I have no clue. I honestly
curious.
don't. I'm just saying, I mean, I honestly don't.
I mean,
that's trying. I will say that.
I will say that too. That's at least trying.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
But we've got to return them. I mean, they can't stay at the vet's office.
I understand that.
So,
but I'm just saying there's still the.
I agree with you fully.
Slows down.
I do too.
But I guess our hope, or at least in my eyes with this, is that people like yourself, Dana, that want to feed them would try to trap them also if they didn't have their ear notched.
Yeah.
And we'll see if it works, and hopefully it does work. But I mean, our goal is not to just to find people just to.
No, and I know that. I mean, I've lived in Darlington. I know
We're
how
not
that
trying
goes.
to-
I have to say, I was
Like
angry
Michelle,
about that.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Michelle said, she's had 32 complaints.
Right.
And some of them,
Right.
some of them might have been from the same person here or there or whatever, but
That's a lot
we
of
as a
complaints.
town have to try to do something
Yeah.
to help the situation. And I'm not, again, I have my feelings about things, but that's trying, and I can appreciate that.
So that's a good thing about the caretakers too, is because
It is.
if we are aware of Cats Limited, for one thing, we
Yes.
report the new cats that we are not, like Lex and I will say, I saw a new cat at the feeder.
Yep.
You know, and I haven't seen it before. It's not notched or,
Right.
so if people can communicate with each other in the town that are the caretakers, I think that's very important.
It is.
Because that's how you get them, and I would be happy to train to trap.
Awesome.
I feel like I've moved to that point now, but but
I
so
would love to,
I
and
think
if
it's important.
there's, Royce, if you're open, I would love to start with your property. I mean, I'd love to give you first.
You've heard of the Crossroads of America? Where's that at?
Crossroads of America?
Yeah. Isn't it Indianapolis, Crossroad of Indiana? The Crossroads of America's Indiana
Oh,
because of all the interstates.
yeah, okay, I'm with you. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'm the
wait,
crossroads of the cats, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, and it's frustrating, and I hear you, and I would love to start there. I mean,
Well, you're welcome to my property anytime because
Awesome.
I've been having an ongoing issue. And
Sir, you might wanna put your address on there for her so she'll know it.
sure.
yes,
I
that would
don't
be.
wanna say poetry, but I mean,
Royce, have you noticed if those cats have had tipped ears or not? Have you noticed that?
I never get close enough to them
Okay,
to see.
I have a hard time seeing it. Mike notices, but I never always notice.
We, like I said, we get grants that stipulate what we do. We can't just say, now, there have been times when they are truly threatened by someone. Poisoning, shooting, and if they're friendly, because I will tell you guys all something right now, only 1% of every cat we have ever come across is truly feral. They, yeah,
That was my next question. I had one for you.
they're always, now it takes a while in a cage, but guess what? They're like, and I'm like, oh, you've been in a house somewhere.
So do you still take those cats and get them fixed though, or are you allowed to?
Try really hard to work with people if they just cannot deal with them. We try really hard to find barn
Well,
homes.
last winter, I found 3 cats in my yard dead. So I started taking in stray cats. I wound up with 9 new cats in my house. What was it, a week ago? A week ago, I was outside and I heard a baby kitten. Well, I'm going looking for it. I don't care what anybody else says.
Yeah.
I found a little baby kitten. Guess what? It's in my house. All the cats that were mine are in my house. The ones that aren't mine, they're still outside. They're feral. But the
Okay.
ones that are in the house,
Yeah.
can we still, people that are, I guess I'm the owner of them because I took them in and
Because
I,
you took them in your house.
yeah,
Yes.
but they're not mine. She knows this too.
Oh, so your question is, can we fix them through,
Yeah,
because they're in your house?
they're actually not
Absolutely.
mine.
Absolutely.
She knows this too. I just took them in. I mean, I was fighting.
I know,
think they were
and-
dumping them.
And
And
that's
I'm like,
why.
and she was saying somebody is dumping cats here. And I'm like, oh my God. I said, can you help me
Yeah,
get it? And I've
Absolutely.
taken a couple and I've had to put back out because they've tore my curtains clear off the wall. I mean, when they get in the house,
Been
they
there,
go,
done that.
and it's like, oh my God. And they jumped up on the top of the refrigerator and oh my
And-
God.
Yeah.
But we got this yellow cat now
Uh-huh.
and he's neutered. And as you said, he is territorial.
Yeah.
He don't let nobody
Yeah.
come around, and he'll walk down the sidewalk and look around to see if he can find someone. If he sees someone in the neighbor's yard, if he sees a strange cat over there, he's, and he's honored, but he's a sweetheart.
People that have taken them in, just to get them off the street.
Well, they were
absolutely.
freezing, they were literally, I was trying
I know,
to see and she
I know.
was too.
Yep.
We were finding them in our yards,
Yeah.
dead, and I'm like, I'm taking them in.
Right.
I don't care what other people
So,
say, they're mine.
The return that nobody likes, and I will tell you, if you're feeding one, somebody else is probably feeding it too, whether they admit to it or not. And they will go back to where they were. And I'm not even gonna say anymore, I'm just gonna,
So
I'm gonna let you guys see.
So the start of, so in my opinion, sitting here and hearing what everybody said, the start of it would be for somebody that is a feeder. I don't know what other.
That's what I
caretaker,
call it, feeder. But
would be to try to get with the other people in Darlington and get on her program, and we'll see if it works. I mean,
Yes.
but we have to have something to protect us and to hear all the citizens. I mean, not, you know.
What do we
So-
do about the raccoons and the possums that are on our property that have rabies and stuff?
Well,
What do we do
those
about
could
those?
You call
Those
the
could be
conservation officer and
taken
they will
care
come
of.
and-
You can?
Yes, ma'am.
Because we have them
Yeah.
bad.
Well,
Those
Oh,
could be
my
conservation
God.
taken care of
The
in a
town
little
doesn't
different
have
manner
them.
than the cat.
Conservation
They're not
officer
mine.
Yes.
comes in and they will take care of that. You can't call AWO because
Oh
it's
my
not
God,
a
they're
domestic
awful.
animal. So
They kill my
conservation
chickens.
officer.
They attacked my dogs the other night.
I know.
I have a question though. If we are known as being proactive with the TNR, I mean, I like that you're nearing this, but I worry that the town becomes, thank you.
Well,
We
why do
become a
why do we
dumping
have to
ground.
Spread the word.
I mean, I understand getting the cat and getting it new, that's outstanding. But if they're always gonna be released, and you said they'll be here until their longevity, cats live a long time.
They can.
And they're gonna keep coming back, and they're gonna keep coming
Yeah,
back.
they
So
can.
I think there needs to be another, I don't know what the step, but there needs to be another step with the program. Just like you said,
Yeah,
if I don't want that released on my property,
right.
if I don't want that cat released on my property, what do I have? I got nothing. I mean, like, there's still no, that's not,
So let's
Right.
see what
Or
it
it's
says.
not
You're saying,
solving-
let's say if Royce trapped and asked them to take care of it, obviously Royce is not gonna want, sorry. can't use you
Absolutely.
As an example.
Sorry.
Michelle, don't need it, you can
He's
use
not
me, I
gonna
don't care.
want That particular cat back on his property when it's doing destruction. Okay, I see.
Correct, so
That's
where's
what
it
you're
get
doing.
released to?
Well, we try so hard. Seriously, you guys, we try so hard to get them barn homes. We really do. I mean, there aren't enough barns in Indiana, but we have had really good luck, and we have had really good people come forward and say, you know, I don't want the cat killed. If you have someone, and believe me, more people than not, they're like, and not always can we do that. But I think here is a good example of like Royce and you. Okay, let's try to get them into barn homes. The problematic ones, you know, it can be done. It can be done. And these people, I mean, it's not just like, here you go, here's a cat for your barn. I mean, they have to hold them in a cage for, you know, at least 3 weeks, so they know that this is their new home.
Acclimated.
Exactly, because then if not,
I
they'll
found
try
a
to
home
get
for these cats. I found a home
Yeah.
for all of them.
Oh,
She
good.
said she would take all of them.
So
but
it
I
sounds
have to
like,
get them
it
stayed
sounds like I
over
think,
first.
I can do that.
we've
Yes. Let's do it.
we've heard
I'm
a
on it.
way to
I'm
move
ready.
forward
I'm tired of it too.
that
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
that I think we should at least try.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good starting point. And I understand our citizens' concerned with the release, but we got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And we will not forget about this. We'll still keep this on the table and try to figure something out if this continues to be worse. I just don't see any other way to start other than at least start somewhere.
How do we get the word out to people? How do you?
How long
Well, I
it-
think the caregivers are going to talk to each other, because it seems like there's a community of caregivers that talk to each other right now that will get with
Do you
Cats
know
Unlimited.
some
How
of
long
the
have
other
you been doing-
caretakers besides Lex and I?
5 years.
You been in this area?
Not that,
Because I see you on the Darlington Cheddar
Montgomery County.
for 5 years.
And I was only gonna do Waveland because I live in Waveland and
Gotcha.
I'm just sad to see it. But then I'm like, wait a minute, it is a huge problem, I agree.
I was just wondering how long you'd done it
Yeah.
around.
5, I've done TNR for decades, on my own,
Okay,
but Cats Limited, 5 years. So,
all
and
right.
Where's
we've done,
Cats Limited in Waveland?
I live in Waveland, yeah, and that's where my cattery is. And as you can imagine, I have my own outside colony, but I also have 17 acres, and it's a pretty safe place. I'm not by highways, and I really want to help the people that are frustrated with them, because not just because I love cats, I'm a crazy cat lady, but because, I mean, you know, it's no fun to be frustrated to walk out on your porch and be like, let's sit down and there's cat hair all over it, it smells, and I mean, that's not right either. So I'm working for both sides, and so far it's really worked out.
I think the mouse population will come back pretty thick too after the
Yeah.
cats start.
It always does.
Because, when the barn burnt next to me,
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you, we had a mouse. Oh my God, it was so bad.
Do we have anything else that we need to address with this?
Well,
Well,
I have
I
a
just-
question for you. Do you know, besides Lex and I, do you know any of the other caretakers in Darlington?
I don't. Someone
That
just,
just feed the animals? Is
Yeah,
that what you're saying? My
feeds,
neighbor
caretaker.
was until I went and told him
That he
about
can't?
this stupidity and everything, and so now he's not feeding them, and it's worse now. Now the raccoons are bad.
so if you guys can get together, we'll do like a closed group, and we'll start like now. Let's just get started.
Okay.
And because the sooner we start, the sooner people are gonna see that, oh, okay, this is
Yeah,
gonna work.
that's
So,
fine, that's fine.
Mr.
and
Foster, did you have a question? Sir?
No, I just want to say I'm not a cat hater.
I understand that
Oh,
completely.
no.
My daughter has a cat with notched ears, and when they go on vacation, guess who goes down and takes care of
Right,
it?
Oh, yes, of course.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I took this in no way of you being that,
Yeah.
not at all.
I'm just tired of what goes on around my house
Yeah,
and
sure, yeah,
stuff like that.
absolutely.
That's all.
I appreciate you taking the time to do that as well. Anything else on the cats issue? So we can. Yes, and anybody is, welcome to say as we move on in this agenda.
Is there anybody else have anything else to say about something else out there?
I just,
You don't have to stay, you can leave.
I was gonna ask about the dog part of here, the barking, the dog part. My one dog is trained for me.
Thank you,
hearing wise,
guys. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
to hear for me at night.
Okay.
She is going to bark.
Sure.
When we go out, she barks.
Mine does too.
I don't leave her out there unattended. Is that a problem?
I wouldn't say so. I think this is the
Okay.
excessive, like, if you're leaving that dog out there for
I don't
an
care.
hour and it's doing nonstop bark, I
Okay.
feel
Okay,
like
that's what
where
I'm concerned
dogs are gonna
about.
bark. Yeah, my dog
I
does.
don't want that to be an issue. That's why I'm asking.
Dogs
Yeah.
bark, this is more about leaving them out all day, all night.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I do not.
Yeah.
No.
Great.
They are not unattended outside.
Stay out your dogs.
No, they wouldn't. Okay,
Speaking of dogs, I have a dog that's probably wanting my attention.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
okay, I just wanted to make sure of that.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I don't want to be penalized for my dog when other dogs are barking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Find anything else, just drop it
I
by
know
the
where
house.
you
Okay, and now we got Mr. Is it Sykel?
That's why I'm cheering you.
If you're jumping down.
We are.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's, you can do your meeting agenda if you like, but you can jump to me too, that's fine.
We'll jump to you.
Okay.
We always like to try to get the guests and the
Sure,
public first.
sure. Well, I
You have
appreciate
this-
the time, and I do have some copies for you.
Scott's been here before.
So the last
thought he
time
looked familiar.
last time I was here, okay, I've got a card with this,
Okay.
I'll leave one of these.
Yeah, for Michelle, if you will,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, Michelle has my contact.
Okay.
Yes, I was here before with a different logo. But I still do the same thing. The company I work for, we do the same water, wastewater work. Michelle had reached out to me a couple weeks ago. Do I need to move?
No, you're
okay. Reached out to me a couple weeks ago and some of the same similar issues that you guys were seeing when I came in before. Just some aging infrastructure with the collection system and the plant. My understanding is that you guys have had a change with your wastewater operators. So moved on from Asbury and brought in Troy and his team with UMAC. Brian and I talked about some of the things going on, and there's not, I guess so correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding of the situation is you have a functioning system, you're meeting your permit requirements, however, the infrastructure is aging. So the issue is you're kind of nickel and dime repairing. So you're very reactionary, which, just to be the first to tell you, if you haven't heard it already, you're not the only community that lives that way. Unfortunately, the utility side is a very reactionary thing. You can do everything you can to be proactive. However, to be proactive, it takes dollars. And as a board, you guys have to balance what your rates are with what your needs are, because no one wants a $100 sewer bill or $100 water bill, right? Whatever that might be. So Michelle and I talked, and Brian and I talked, and I think something that would fit well is you guys don't have, my understanding is you don't have we'll call it a technical kind of leg to stand on when it comes to, hey, we have a problem, what can we do? How can we scope this project so that instead of spending, X amount of dollars 4 times a year, we can fix the problem, and maybe we're looking at getting down the road. Maybe there's some capital cost, but it comes back at the end of the day, your maintenance costs are lower. And Brian's not trying to patch things together, things like that. So one of the things that we do at United is we like to get in with communities and do what we call an on-call service contract. What this does is it establishes a framework for if there's an issue, you can call us, and then we work with you to develop a scope, and then there's, obviously a fee with that, but it kind of allows you to streamline the system so you're not saying, uh-oh, we got a huge problem. I want to interview 19 different engineers, or if you just have a little question, you can call, everything's set up already. The contract language is already there, and it's a kind of like it is on-call service. There's no fee with it until we actually do work. So it just establishes a framework. So, rates are there. And then depending on what the project is, we can develop what we call a task order. So let's say, for example, there's a lift station issue with one of the 3 lift stations in town. And, Brian and Michelle talk with you, and you say, hey, let's call Scott and see what he thinks. So you guys call me, and I say, well, let me take a look. And usually there's some preliminary work. You guys supply some data or something like that, or I come out and take a look and say, well, here's what I think. And Troy and Nathan are really good at that as well, but I don't know what your agreement with them is.
Well, I was getting ready to say, where is UMAC in this?
Yeah, and so I talked to Troy also, and I've worked with Troy in the past. So the way to kind of think about it is, an engineer provides one side, and then you have, it's kind of a designer doer type of thing. The UMAC and Brian are the doers, but there's a lot of things, if you ever go for grant funds or a lot of times those need a report of some sort. That's what we can provide.
Okay.
Then we provide the design, and then a construction contractor builds it. But one of our roles is also to be your kind of right hand when it comes to the technical side.
Okay.
So for example, Troy and Nathan are very, very knowledgeable about how that plant operates, but they can say, hey, you know, we're seeing this issue, like we're getting a lot of foam, and we've tried this, we've tried this, we've tried this. What do you guys think the issue is?
Okay.
And then, so we'll call it another crutch. You know, you guys are town board, you know, members elected by the folks, but you're not wastewater engineers or
Right.
water engineers. You know?
Absolutely.
So, and there's nothing wrong with that, but everybody needs a technical advisor when it comes to that. It's kind of like Tyler's not here tonight, but he's your legal crutch.
So what is the fee, like, I see where you say we don't pay you per se
Yep.
until you're
Till we
responding and actually do work.
Till we actually do authorized work.
Okay.
And authorization can be anything from as simple as an email to
Okay.
say, hey, this is what we want you to do, and then we make sure that on our end and your end, everybody's comfortable with whatever scope we're providing.
Okay.
And then there's an authorization with that. That way, no one's in the dark. You're not seeing charges that are, what's this for,
Yeah,
that
I
kind of
know
thing.
that.
So you don't, basically that's or we can do a formalized task order, which basically lines it out. The only difference is the fee structure is already established. A lot of times, like what you would call about would just be a small, maybe it's a 10-hour or less kind of question, we'll call it. A major capital project, we would probably want to do a full contract for that. That just, I mean, when we're talking about a major capital improvement, and when I say that, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially. That's that's a bigger deal. This is more for those. I know when I was here before, we talked about doing a study of the system to say, hey, this is what we think. We'll say, here's our laundry list of everything that we want to address, and here's a hierarchy to that.
Mm-hmm.
We could do that under this task order without going through a formal. Yeah, it's a formal contract, but then things could stem from that. So my understanding is the lift station that needed the most attention has been rebuilt, the one on the far west end. But the other three, the one down here by the toll house is in pretty good shape. I know when Brian and I looked at it, you know, aside for some weeds that were tall, but they're gone now, it was in good shape. I know the one on Madison Street needs some attention, especially on the electrical side. And is there one pump operating in there right now?
Everything's operating now.
Okay, so I think when we talked, was there a pump down?
Yeah, I got that taken care of.
Okay, so, but that infrastructure may be aging. It may need some overhaul at some point. But what we can help you do is see that, plan for it, and then be strategic about it so that you're not getting hit with, oh, we got to do $1 million project. How do we do this? It's a way to look forward. We could establish this and then you never use it and it doesn't cost you a dime. I mean, that's the beauty that we see with them, because it gives you some, we'll call it a security blanket, but at the same time, it gives you somebody to call.
Sure.
And I know probably from your end, Michelle, it's a little bit frustrating to try to find.
Oh, it is.
Because when you pick up the phone, the first thing is, well, let's get a scope and a contract.
Yeah. I'll tell you an example that happened, and some of you weren't on the council and some of you were. We were going to do Main Street.
Yeah.
We had an engineer come in and he engineered Main Street. It cost us $38,000 and that went nowhere. That went nowhere because most engineering, they're going to do that work and be paid. And it doesn't matter whether it goes forward or not, whether you have the funding or not, you're going to pay for it. Now, that was 3 years ago, whatever it was. But we couldn't get the funding for it. So to have someone, especially with your wastewater plant, you know, you've talked about it. Something's got to happen with the wastewater plant. But does it have to be a $2 million? Maybe. But if you've already got that, and you'll see in your packet too, Jared Hall, we use him for engineering or for financials.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's your financial guy. I sent in an email. I'm sorry, it may not be in your back. But Jared Hall is your financial guy who did your electric, right? He's got an engagement letter too. Doesn't cost you, but you have him there, just like you do him. Because if Brian walks in here and says, we just lost 2 lift stations, you obviously are gonna have to get loans. You're gonna have to, which Scott's really good about finding the money for that or helping us get the loans or whatever. You are gonna have that in play. Or, hey, I know this wastewater station's gonna have to do, what's our worst case scenario?
I feel like I'm like in the dark
Well,
with this
yeah.
when they bring it issues and stuff. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pretend I know.
why would
I mean,
you?
it'd be nice to have somebody who has some knowledge, and then what they do can lead to,
Well, you're ready to go.
yeah,
You're
we're not
ready to
behind
go.
the eight ball, we're kind of
Mhm.
ready.
Yeah.
So on the funding and grant assistance.
Sure.
Line item or
Bullet point.
PowerPoint,
Sure.
is that, it says assistance, does that mean like if we needed to do $1 million upgrade to the wastewater, that you guys would actually write it for it? I mean, obviously we pay, but
Right.
you have a grant writer on staff?
We do not have what you would call a grant administrator. So depending upon the program, there's different avenues. So for example, if you were to go through Office of Community and Rural Affairs or OKRA for like a community block grant, let's say, or a planning grant or something like that, we have consultants that we work with that would be, we'll call them the grant administrator. And basically what they do is we would bring them in and bring them to you, okay? And then they would have their own kind of contract, but we work in tandem with them. So they do all of the, we'll call it the submittal portion. They kind of guide you through, because there's some ordinance type work that has to happen when you do an OKRA grant, and that's a specific program.
Isn't that kind of how we did it with the electrical? We had the,
Yeah.
they came in, the consultants with the,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
And we would provide the engineering technical side
right,
as
Yes.
part of what
'cause
they
they
need.
don't do that. Right.
And then once that grant is awarded, if the town was to receive that grant, then we would go into the design phase. So one thing that I would never do is come in here and say, I can get you grant money, because I can't do that. I can help you apply for grant money and then see where it falls. But we would work with a grant administrator in a situation like that. Through, if you were doing $1 million project, OKRA may be applicable to that. Their maximum grant is $750,000, and then there's a community match side of that. So I think you're on the hook for X percentage, and then they would provide up to that, which.
My reasoning for asking that more than anything was because without a doubt, it's gotta get on our radar soon
Sure.
to get the wastewater plant at least in motion.
Yeah.
Because.
And I would tell you, if you were doing a brand new plant from scratch, which I've been to the plant, I don't think that's the case there. Does it need some upgrading? Maybe.
I think it needs upgraded, and I feel like if we're gonna try to keep the community prosperous, somewhat prosperous, it needs to be expanded a little bit to where, I mean, I'm not ready to be Lebanon anytime soon, but
Sure.
a big builder's already building just building 8 miles down the road in Thorntown, so.
So you want to be strategic about your growth.
You want to try to be somewhat ready where you can capitalize if somebody wanted to come buy 200 acres and put 500 or 600 homes on it.
Absolutely.
I don't know that.
Absolutely.
I'm
You
saying
kinda wanna have-
I'm not saying I really want it, but
Sure.
I think inevitably it's going to be here. I mean,
Yeah.
the proof's in the pudding of what's going on right now.
Yeah, I think something else to think
Indianapolis.
about, a lot of work that we do is we work with communities that are of similar size that have a commercial or industrial entity that wants to move, and then they want city service. Well, depending on what they're doing, what their industry is, that can have a huge impact on your wastewater. I know that, this is still Aqua, I know they were purchased by American Water, but I think they're still doing business as Indiana or Aqua Indiana. But they would be your water supplier for whatever industry, but you guys, they would come to this board and say, hey, we want to build here, can you guys provide us with wastewater service? And then the question is, I don't know. I don't know. You could call us and we'd say, okay, well, let us evaluate where you are, what they want to do, and what you would need to do to accept them, or to say, well, Mr. Industry, yes, we can accept you, but we need to do this, this, and this. How are you gonna work with us for us to do that?
How are you gonna give us the money to help get you?
Right. You know, but I mean, but it's a balance, right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
if they're bringing jobs or growth to your community, I mean, that's something for this board, not for me, but for this board to determine what you wanna do. But we can be your right hand in that. And this just allows you to pick up the phone and say, hey, what are we gonna do here? And I will tell you, phone calls usually are, we figure it out, and then nothing really happens till we do a task order. Because there's 9 times out of 10 it's a phone call and we answer the question, especially once we get established in a community, because then we know what you're dealing with. So, and your system, I think Brian and I went through it in a day, and I've got a pretty good idea of what is here from a mechanical standpoint, but also just a collection system standpoint. So, but Michelle had asked me to come in and talk to you guys, answer questions. And based on our conversation, I felt like this was a good fit for this community, because it's very general in nature. It's not a specific, hey, we're doing this, this, and this for this amount of money. It's, you guys don't know what you need. We don't know what you need. I think it's gonna take a lot of conversations to figure out what's the best thing moving forward.
This is just because I think about I don't know why, it's just one of the things that's like, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a pet peeve, but I just feel like it's a place that we really need to think about upgrading. What would a new system, I'm just saying a brand new system the size of what we have out there, are you talking about 10 million, 5 million?
For a wastewater treatment
Yeah,
plant?
like I know we don't need brand new, but what would that cost?
If you were doing, what's gallons per day on that? Do you remember?
I'm not sure, it's torn.
That's one thing I don't remember what size plant that is, but let's say it's 500,000 a day average gallons. You're probably talking somewhere between, depending on what kind of system you went, between 8 and 12 million. If you started from scratch and had a brand new drinkable type. And it kind of, there's ways to bring that down, but there's also there's a lot of variables.
Yeah, I'm just, I just like, I don't know why, I just think that's a place that seems like they fought, Astonbury fought it quite a bit, Troy fights it quite a bit. And obviously it's getting us by and we're not having, but it's just, I guess it's kind of one of my not pet peeve, but I just feel like it's something we really got to start thinking about.
And there's things that, there's the treatment plant, and then you have your collection system. And when you have your pump stations, those pump stations can be a maintenance nightmare, almost sometimes more so than your treatment plant. Because if pumps go down, or
especially when people put baby wipes down.
Yes, you know, that's something that that fight gets fought everywhere. And a pump station like the one on Madison Street, which is, it's not huge, but it's not little either. It's probably, you're probably maybe, if you did a full rebuild, no structures, maybe 300,000 to 500,000 to do a total like overhaul on it, because you probably want to have some backup power potentially. I don't know if you guys have the ability for a portable generator. That's a discussion we would have, but you know, pumps, controls, that kind of stuff can get kind of pricey. But from my recollection, the structures are in pretty good shape. But then again, when you get out into the piping portion, it is aging, so you're probably taking on a lot of rainwater, which causes problems at your plant, causes the rest of that to go. So then you have a question to answer: do we want to try to eliminate that, or do we just want to treat it all? And those have different impacts. I don't think you guys have any CSOs. You don't have any combined sewer overflows or anything like that. It never gets that bad.
Right.
So.
And Jared's side of that is to determine, say it's a $2 million or $12 million project, I'm sorry. What's that gonna cost?
Yeah, so
What's that gonna cost the people, and just like he did with the electric? Well, that's a 25% increase. We had an increase since 2008. It's a 25% increase. You'll have to collect 25% more in order to pay for the loan that we got in electric, which would be the same thing. He would take our current rate and look at that whatever the project is. So two separate people, but you have to have both. You won't be able to do any of the project without those two people in play, period. So, and to say whether we can afford it or not, we don't know, but
So
that's where you start.
the way we would work with Jared is we as a group collectively would scope a project, whatever that project is. And then Jared would get involved from our project estimate. So if we kind of said, okay, I'm just throwing numbers out for what, $500,000. And the wastewater fund did not have that. You didn't want to do a bond sale or however you're going to finance that, however that mechanism is, whatever it is, bond sale, loan, whatever it is. He would get involved to say, hey, 500,000 is here. Your debt service would be this on repayment. This is how it impacts your rates. Your rates may have to go from $40 to $47. So, and Darlington has got the same issue that all small towns do. You have big problems and not a lot of ratepayers to pay them. So any huge project is going to be impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Both, not because you need the system, but on people's wallets, which is never a fun conversation.
We all live here too, so we hate to see rate increases, but, and a lot of people don't understand that, but sitting here and seeing it from the other side, it's like, you know, I like when people complain about the wastewater and stuff, I'm like, well, we either raise the rates and do these, or we have, bye Carl, thank you.
Thank you.
Or we start having violations and the state of Indiana comes in and they're gonna build it to 2026 or 20, whatever, you know, they're gonna build a system that is top of the line and your rates are gonna go from whatever to $125 instead of going up $10 and let us try to keep
Right.
work.
If you can be proactive as a board and say, hey, we know this is coming and maybe your incremental increase is, I don't know, I'm just gonna throw this numbers out to say 2% every other year, then you start to get ahead. And then when it does come time for that project, it's not a 40% increase. You know what I mean? It's, you have a little bit of a reserve to be able to fund. Maybe you can fund your soft costs, maybe, you know, just depends on what it is. But I would tell you that from experience, towns that sit idle are the ones that get hit hardest when it comes time to do a project. So any questions you guys have, you know, I know I threw a lot at you and it's one of those things, but Michelle has my number. I can leave a couple cards if you want to call and talk through it, or if you have specific questions after this, you know, don't hesitate to call me and we can talk through it. So.
Does Michelle have and I know everything would be a little different, but does she have kind of a baseline rate sheet from you?
Did I send you a rate sheet? I don't know if I did or not.
Like consultation or engineering or whatever the difference?
So we, basically our rates are, no matter what we're doing, they're the same. So, if we're just consulting, like we sit down and have a meeting, or if we're actually doing design, the rate is usually just, it's an hourly rate. We get into a project or a task order, that's where we can assign those to be lump sum. So if we put together like a scoping report or something, we would develop a fee that would be this amount.
Like that would be where a contract come in and say, we're gonna do this, get this job, or get this scope for you guys, it's gonna be $5,000.
Correct, yeah, and depending on what it was, we can do it what we call a task order, and then it's, the contract's already in place, so everything with the on-call carries forward from our responsibility, your responsibilities, all the legal stuff that Tyler makes a living at, all that kind of stuff. And then the task order just basically describes that scope and fee.
Do you do any, since you have an hourly rate, do you do any not to exceed stuff?
We can, and that's the beauty, we can tailor these lump sum, hourly, not to exceed. Sometimes not to exceeds are really good in those when there's a lot of unknowns. So as we start finding information, maybe it goes in our favor and we say, you know, we really think this might be 5,000, but we only spend 3,000, so you only get billed 3,000. So there's a lot of a lot of flexibility in how we can do that.
Just being on the, trying to be fiscally responsible, those not to exceed from being in the construction industry as long as I have been, it's kind of nice for everybody because it gives you a little safety net and it gives us to, you know, if you, like you said, if you get a job done in 10 hours and you quoted us 20 hours, then we save.
And once we kind of when we establish relationships with folks, it becomes more of that. Hey, they need something. Okay, it took 2 hours. Here you go. Versus, I'm going to charge them. You know, because we don't know each other, that kind of thing. You know, it's kind of like I kind of liken it to when you have your neighbor that's a mechanic that helps you out versus going to the dealership. You know what I mean? The relationship matters. You know, we become invested in your community, just not as heavily as you are because you live here. But I mean, I live in Montgomery County, so my kids play baseball at the park here when we come up here. So you know, that kind of thing. So
I think having a place to know where to start, like when they assess the plant and they say, "This is the worst. This is good." You know, I think that's a place to start because they're all new board members to the wastewater. I mean, to that fact, you got to know where to begin.
There might need to be some discussion, but I think it's almost a no-brainer when it doesn't cost us anything to get in an agreement.
So what I can do is I can put together kind of our base on call, and I can send it to Michelle or send it to you guys, or if you want me to send it directly to Tyler, I can do that, or I'll let you guys handle that part.
You send it to me, I can send it to Tyler and them.
Have him review it, have you guys review it. If there's any questions, we can roll through it. And then as things come up, we'll figure out this task order, and from there, I think it allows us the peace of mind that when you guys do call, we don't have, our first question isn't, well, how are we going to pay for this? You know what I mean? Or it's, hey, let's figure out a contract. I mean, I'll be honest, I hate going through all that. I'd rather just say, you got a problem, let me help you fix it. And try to be as responsible with
that. Do we need a motion to have that, or just?
You'll need a motion when he writes the contract up and Tyler or reviews it, and then I'll bring it back, you know.
Is everybody comfortable with that moving forward?
I mean, you can make a motion for that, for him to do that. That's fine. It doesn't hurt anything.
A motion for him to draw up.
To draw it up and put it forth with you guys and the attorney, and then I'm sure you'll have another one in June to actually
I'll make a motion
adopt
that
it.
we, United Consultant, agree to sign for him to send over their contract to us, which is a non-binding contract for work, but it gives us a phone call and then they charge us as they do work.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I will put that together, and then this is May, right? Do you want me to come back in June to present that?
That's a good question. I guess if you guys, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but they would have to tell you if they wanted I'm gonna call it a list, a task, or whatever. They would have to tell you, hey, go assess our wastewater plant and tell us the worst to the best, correct?
Yes. Yeah, so.
You see what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
I would like for part of your thing,
Yeah.
I think
So
just being on the board to see what your pricing, I mean, I think we need to know that too. Just
so have him
for
come back on
people.
June, it'll be June 2nd. We are gonna meet on a Tuesday though. Yeah.
I'll get back to you.
That's fine.
Anyways, so just so I understand, the on-call contract, and we will have a rate sheet in there that our rates are based on.
That's what we were.
Do you want me to pull together a task order to evaluate the system as well as part of that, or just you want to get through the on-call first and then revisit? Because we could do a task order to do a system evaluation, and then that would have like
So
we would not do that hourly. We would kind of figure out, okay, what do we need to do, and then there would be a cost with that. Does that make sense?
Well, again, we're always in the same position, and I know you probably can't tell us right now, but like, cause then we have to make sure we have the money to
Sure.
pay you for it right off the get-go.
Mhm.
What would approximately that cost? And I'm not looking for nothing to hold you to. I mean, is it 5,000? Is it 3,000? Is it 7,000?
I'm trying to remember.
I mean,
what
it's
we
gotta be-
talked about this
It's gotta be
before.
done. I mean, we've gotta do it sooner or later, but
Yeah, it depends on what kind of deliverable you want. If you want me to just kind of look at it and do a short kind of scoping report to say, hey, here's what you got, here's what we think, and you're not looking to use that to go get funding somewhere, that would be the next step. It would probably be less. I'm trying to remember when I put this together.
And
It'd be
again,
very
I'm not
similar to
looking-
what we had before. So
I'm not looking for even within 1,000, but is it gonna be 10 grand or more? Is it gonna be 10 grand or more?
I'm gonna say, based on what you're telling me,
Approximately.
maybe between 10 and 20. Because we'll come out and we'll spend some time digging through stuff like we did before. And then what I'm envisioning based on what we're talking about would be, we'd come spend some time and then we would put together,
An in-depth.
some kind of explanation that you have that you can take and read, and then we would come present it and make sure, give you guys some education on what's going on. So
Can that same report be used if we have to get funding?
we can make it that way if
Okay.
you want to.
I mean, if we're gonna pay that much, I would think that we would want to get something that if we had to
Yeah.
go forward, we could use. Or
I would
somewhat similar to
caution,
it.
because depending upon what your project is, most of the time if you're going after a certain grant or a certain
Sure.
funding mechanism, you kind of write the report around that project. And what I'm hearing is you kind of want an assessment of the entire system, and then we look at this, and this.
Mhm.
I'm thinking very high level, not an in-depth type of situation, but we can, let me put some thought into
Well,
that.
I honestly think at this point, we just need to kind of, in my opinion, to get started is find out what we're, not necessarily on this, but kind of around about what we need to do. And then as we decide, then we can start putting our list together that whatever the pump, this
Mhm.
pump needs, this is the first problem, this is the major problem, or I know foam's been a problem, so we need to, Troy's already been talking about the defoamer or whatever it's called, and then put a list together, but I don't know that we need an in-depth report just yet.
Okay.
I
mean, I'm envisioning sitting down with Brian and then sitting down with Troy and Nathan and saying, hey, where are your problem areas? And then just kind of highlighting those.
Okay.
That's what I envision on this first step, to be honest with you.
Then I think
Yeah.
if anybody, unless anybody has a problem, then I wouldn't mind seeing a quote or a estimate for what that would
Okay.
cost to do along with the contract
Okay,
and all the legal paperwork.
okay,
I agree.
all right. I can
Sounds
put
good.
something together for you and then get back. And you said June 2nd?
It's a Tuesday.
We had to change it for 1 month.
Does that run up against the holiday? Or is it just June 1st was not a?
What
June
holiday?
1st is a Monday, is that right?
Yeah, it's a Tuesday.
June 1st is a Monday.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, this is gonna be June 2nd.
Better send out while I'm thinking about it, better send out a reminder on the day before.
I can put it on my phone, but I still won't.
I will, I promise. I'll
I tried
send,
to make it this much,
I-
this month.
I just,
No, I do that all the time. It doesn't work.
I
but
appreciate
tried to
you.
make it.
So I had to read it, I said, Mike, yeah,
They already did.
then I read the email, oh, and I
I
knew that.
did the same thing. I did the
So,
same thing.
Any other questions? I'll let you guys get to your meeting.
Thank you
Yeah.
for being here.
Thank you for being patient.
Yeah,
sir.
no, you're fine. I get it.
Appreciate it.
It's,
Now you know we have a cat problem also with wastewater.
well,
you.
I can't help you with the cat problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have my opinion of what to do, but that's
Yeah.
for you guys to decide. So,
Me
Thank you guys.
too.
I'll
Thanks,
be in
Scott.
touch, Brian.
Thank
All right,
you.
Thank you.
All right, Brian.
So we'll just start with wastewater.
Sounds good.
Station 2 was the one that had the bad pump. We got lucky on that.
That pump had been replaced September of 2024. Talked with Indiana Pump Works or whatever their title is over there. A lot of conversations, and they said they had a 5-year warranty, and then I got the replacement cost. I need to back up. I called about a new pump. It's going to be $12,000. Yeah. That same pump in 2024 was $9,000. So it went up $3,000 in 2 years, less than 2 years, year and a half. And that's something, this whole wastewater thing we're going to fight. Is it material cost? So anyway, I talked to them, went back and pulled some receipts that Michelle had, found out it had been replaced in 2024 after they told me I had a 5-year warranty. And he kind of hem-hauled and said some stuff, and so I ended up taking it over there to Greenfield. Met 5 guys, which turned out good as far as a relationship thing goes. It ended up costing us, what, $350 for repair parts.
Yeah.
So, and then I bought another $350 worth of spare parts.
Yeah.
Sure.
Electrical parts.
Yep, okay.
So that pump's back in service. It's working. It's going good. So that's that. And I was talking about buying a spare pump. They pretty much stock them. I don't think we need to spend the money if I can run to Greenfield and pick one up. And it is sitting out there for $12,000. So, but with all that, all these lift stations, I have no idea, but they probably all got the same wear, other than the one with the trailer park that gets new, and that's where Scott will come in to evaluate them and the plant. So, other than just fixing stuff when it breaks and not really fixing everything, getting ahead, that's where he would be an asset to evaluate. Because I know Troy and Nate's got things, they're not afraid to spend money, but they don't want to spend money if they ain't got it.
Sure. But
they've made suggestions. Seems like every time they suggest something like this happens, and then they step backwards.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at with wastewater right now. Things are running. But,
and it's hard to determine how much money we have in wastewater. You can ask me, do we have the money? I can't honestly answer that because something can happen when you walk out the door.
Right.
It's just a whole different amount of money that gets spent.
Yeah.
We try to be very efficient, and you guys do, but it is a hard place.
On some, if you can get a quote,
if you can get a quote,
it's outrageous.
Yeah.
Well, all of it's going to be cheaper than what the environmental agency fined us if we
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the thing is, the sewer goes from one lift station to the next to the next. Level 3 or 4 don't go to the plant individually. So you can have this one new, you can have this one new, and this one goes down. Well, there's your bottleneck, or even below the same.
Yeah.
They gotta all be running to get it out there, and then that's gotta be able to handle it when it gets there. So it's not like it's all together. So talked to Nate today. They're gonna put a new monitor on their influent where everything comes in. It's old, it's not reading. I don't know what the cost of that's going to be, but it'll be on that as well. So there's some things he's needing to do out there, and then we've got some bills on that clarifier when they rebuilt that arm gearbox.
I haven't got that one yet.
Okay, so we're not getting ahead.
Right.
So. Electrical, got one of the meter towers, I'll call it, that collects data at the park installed. It started today on the one on Joe Price Grain Lake. So we got a meter out the shop, things reading. We're gonna wait till after we read the 15th and then start swapping some meters in town, see how that transition.
And how many of those meters did we buy?
250, I think. which total is like 770 customers.
Mhm.
But we wanted to do it step at a
Yeah.
time, so,
It's 763 meters, right?
yeah.
You just gonna pick
664.
neighborhoods or just go
I
up and down the
gotta
street or you got?
see how far this one will read out. So it's gonna be limited. It's on a 40-foot pole up there, 45-foot pole. So we start putting them in random places.
And you did say that you got one up at Joe's already or no?
No, I started that today.
Oh,
That's
you
gonna
started
take-
today, okay.
I wanted to get this one
Yeah.
going. It was a lot closer to the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I climbed that leg 3 times today, so I'm out of shape. 120 foot's a long way up there, so I wanted to make sure this was gonna run.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. No, I just heard you say fries and I missed.
You know, at a certain age, you're supposed to stop.
I know it. It'll probably be on 61 in July. So at least that part. But anyway, this one's up and running. We haven't done nothing with it. I just stuck one out at the electrical shop because it's not doing nothing, just to see what it'll do. So try to get that up and going. We'll probably, if I don't get Joe's done before after the 15th, we'll still go ahead and start with this and get our transition with Keystone, and new metering, vision metering, and all the stuff the girls will have to learn. So
I'll bring a, it won't take very long, but it won't say it'll be June's, probably July's meeting. I'll bring the, the email so that they can see how the map has the red dot. And you can click on the red dot, so you can click on your property, or it'll show you the graph of, every 15 minutes or 10 minutes or something.
They update, they go out and read every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So say, I think we talked about this once, so say you had a high electric bill, they should be able to print out a report for every 15 minutes for a day, or every day for 30 days. It won't be, if they do 15 minutes, that's gonna be a lot of paper, but,
I think it's a graph though, right?
well, it'd be like
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Of the graph.
But like if you do 24 hours, every 15 minutes will be a graph. So, 7 o'clock or something's coming on at midnight, it's a spike or whatever. So that'll be a resource for the customers that we can explain.
What's kicking on at 2 in the morning, that's spiking my electric
But
bill.
as far as outages, little
Yes.
balloons on the map will be green. If somebody loses power, the balloon will turn red
It'll
or
turn
orange.
So he can pinpoint that rather than
So I'll know.
trying to figure out,
I know this stretch is off.
Nice.
and
Yes.
I'm not answering 100 pages, which I don't anyway, but.
Right.
Got the pager fixed today though, so we will be,
And then the girls will have the ability to disconnect.
Oh, yeah, from the, yeah.
Yeah. And then read. I won't have to go get a reading, so if somebody moves in or moves out, they can pull that up as well. So
I probably will.
it'll be nice for all that.
Mhm.
It'll be very nice. There's a lot of good about it. So as long as it reads good.
A lot of data that will be available to customers that I think they will really like.
Yeah. So I had one guy down there beside old pet clinic. I don't know that guy. The house right beside it on the east side. He's having extremely high electric bills.
He was.
And his heat pump was bad. So he's running off electric heat.
They didn't know it.
Didn't know it, so I went in there. He had an electrician in there. They couldn't find anything. Spent about an hour with him. Narrowed it down to that. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
He's up to office complaining for an hour about
Yeah.
$700 or $1,100 electric.
They had some high electric bills. They did. It was not normal for them, and we called them, and they're like, "No," but it ended up being. It just took a couple months for them to.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I had $1,100 electric bill, I'd be screaming too. So. But you can see they should be able to graph some of that. So it's good for us. And then I had like 5 outages in 4 nights for whatever reason, a couple storms. But been pretty lucky. It was all minor outages. Very lucky on that. So. Talked with the tree trimmers, but I haven't got anything started on that. I just trying to get this metering thing up and going, so.
Had a couple trees come down in the storm.
Yeah, yeah. And one on Madison, or Main, and then one over here on Athens and Franklin. So. Spent quite a bit on wastewater this month, really, as far as that pump situation, so. I don't know, y'all got anything or not?
No.
Nothing on NVH, I don't think, right?
No, I haven't.
I didn't figure you would.
Weather's kinda flip-flop.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Probably won't be doing any more painting until, I don't know. I'd like to get this metering thing up and going.
Yeah, sure.
I will say Marshall, on the painting, Marshall said it's made a big difference.
Yeah, I think it really made a big difference from the bank and the hardware there, so, Banjo's still kinda complaining about their rates. This new metering will help on that, I think. Show them what they're paying and what they're not paying as far as kilowatt hours or kilowatts KW usage, because we don't charge for that. So I think that they can get a kilowatt hour for 8 cents instead of 12 cents. But Crawfordsville charges 8 cents, but they charge KW. That's like $22 a KW. And that's going to put them right back where we are now, if not more. So I just got to have these meters running to prove it.
Sure.
Yeah, so that'll help on that. That's.
You want to have anything for it?
No.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. So if you got anything, holler. We'll take care of it. So.
I was trying to see if Tyler had answered on that right of way down here at 500 in School Street. The brick house where yeah. And I believe, I thought he answered us back. Do you guys remember on that email? We all got an email. I put him, where the lady on the corner down here.
Oh,
the trucks are going into
yard.
her yard. Jeremy went down and took pictures and yeah. And I don't remember if he said like, we talked about putting something there, such as rocks. I mean, I hate to say that, but something as a barrier. Yeah. I don't believe the right of way, unless the town bought a right of way, which I don't know how we would do that. I mean, she wouldn't want somebody to go 5 feet in, or 10 feet in. I don't remember what he said exactly on it, but he's like, is there ability to put something else there to keep them from doing that?
Another big rock.
I know.
I talked to her when I put the signs up. She didn't really want anything she had to mow around.
And I don't blame her there.
And
yeah, that's
she's
true.
worried about her mailbox, which I haven't hit that yet.
Yeah.
And from the looks of it, people were driving there, but it like might have been 1 or 2 incidents.
Yeah, I don't know. I just seen the picture that Jeremy sent.
Yeah. One semi would have done that easy.
Yeah, I do have the email.
Yeah.
Okay.
I received this information from Tyler, the corner of 700 and 500. Regarding the turning radius issue, does the town maintain the portion of the road in the town limits, or does the county? The road could be widened in that area, but it would require obtaining some of the real estate in order to do so. The policy now is that fee simply interest and not just an easement is to be acquired for a project like this. I will check on the status of the academy project.
Yes.
So we would have to get her to sell us some land.
Correct. Fee simple being the deed, to get to it. Yeah.
And that'd be the way to do it.
Mhm. Yeah. But even at that, even if, let's say that she did, we'd have to have the money to widen the road, because that's our road to the bridge.
Yeah.
To have that project going. So it's just another level of something we'd have to do too.
Or would she just give it to us?
I doubt it.
Would she ask? No. Just so she didn't have to
I didn't
take
get that
care of it.
impression.
Okay.
No, I don't think so
I don't
either.
know, that's
She
why
wasn't
I'm
like-
glad you said that, because
She
that's
wasn't
kind of what I
negative.
was
She's
getting at.
very polite lady.
Very
but
polite, yeah.
She just didn't really want to give up any property.
Okay.
So,
Understandable.
Absolutely. Yeah.
but she
Doesn't want that mess either.
Well, yeah, and she'd just say, here you go.
Well, and you wonder if you did widen it, if it would still happen anyway.
Well,
mean-
you never know.
The more you give,
Well,
you know,
yeah.
they just keep turning and, you know,
Yeah,
so.
we've done that on South Street.
Exactly, exactly. It's proved that you made it bigger, it still doesn't,
One
unfortunately.
thing, that stormwater project right there that Price bid on last year, that guy called me that lives in the house, I can't remember their names.
Dossler.
Dossler.
Mr. and Mrs. Dossler.
I thought maybe he'd be here, but he's not. But he said he's gonna call Price. I said, fine, that's, go ahead. You're more than welcome to. Glenn told me he would get it done.
Yeah.
But that's probably been 6-8 months. Take out winter, so it ain't been that
Yeah,
long.
right, right.
So,
I'll ask him, I'll probably see him.
yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna harass him.
No, I just asked him if he's.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
no,
schedule.
yeah. So he's usually good about his word.
Oh, yeah.
But if you catch any black or, it's not forgotten.
Right,
Dossers,
right.
so. And with all this rain, I'm sure they're getting hammered down there, so. It's just what it is, so. And Brad's supposed to give me an estimate on Madison, right there in front of the old water company, on the repair of that drain, and then him and/or Bussy supposed to do one on North Franklin. Just washing out people's driveways on both sides. We're gonna put a storm box right there, just north of the phone company, AT&T. I've got any estimates on either one of them. I don't know if anybody knows any excavators. I don't know if Jason, I don't know.
If it's not pressing, he might be interested, but probably pretty good both.
Yeah, I know
Obviously muddy
farming,
right now, but
yeah, farming's coming up, so I don't know.
another person that has to be Glenn,
I know, but
if he would be willing to, while he's up here.
you're right, I'd be more than happy to use them, but I'd like to get something going.
So it's the drainage box by the old water company, by
Bards,
Bards. And
just
it's the drain-
almost straight across from the entrance to the bank.
I see him here in a little bit. I'll
Yeah,
mention to him if he'd be interested in giving us a quote for those two things too, just to at least have another option.
yeah, and my Glenn, might a little more work for him, so. The one on North Franklin should just be a storm, there's like a 20-inch drain right underneath there, so it'd just be a matter of digging a hole and dropping it in, and it's right there. This one, Brad was gonna cut across the street, because the storm drain's on the west side and the drain's on the east side. You can see where he's got a white line. But that one, it's eroding underneath the street. I don't know how big it is yet. I guess we'll find out in vacation, but. All right.
Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
Have a good night.
You too.
See you tomorrow.
Okay, so now we're up to approval of minutes. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. I'm ready.
Alright, we're gonna do the approval of minutes for the regular meeting on April 2nd, twenty
Make
twenty-six.
a motion to approve the minutes from April 2nd, 2026.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I need a second.
Oh,
I second.
I'm so sorry.
You're okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Money matters. Do I have a motion to approve all three money matters?
I make a motion.
I got you, boo.
I make a motion to approve all three money matters.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the new business, we've already done the consulting, the right of way, we've already done that. The old business, speed board, my apologies, I did not get an email sent to you.
I talked to
Kevin.
Kevin about it.
Reprimanded.
Yeah, I know, please, yeah, I earned it.
The speed board needs a part of
Okay,
some sort.
Okay,
And I don't know if it's the age of the speed board but he's having some difficulty, I believe, finding the part.
Okay.
He's looking for one.
okay.
So It's not that he hasn't put it out, it's just that it does need a part.
Okay, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Concession stand park,
There's,
I have something on that. I got a text today from Josh that he is working to find somebody willing to run it. I just wanted to re-verify that I remember correctly. We were charging $10 a day.
yes.
Last year, we
Yes.
charged $10 a day, plus they have to carry their own liability insurance.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, that's what I told him, but I said I was gonna ask today to make sure I remember correctly.
Nice. Community center future,
I put a thing in your, just in a, the
Yeah.
April,
oh, yes,
Expenses.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
you have,
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you
The
going on to this?
AT&T.
I was, yeah, sorry,
No,
I
good.
apologize. You have in your packet here, and I'm not really going to dissect this, okay, because I'm still working on this.
Okay.
I do have a little breakdown on a spreadsheet that I can send you, but honestly, I've got about 5 boxes or 5 little boxes in my office that are plug and play. We are gonna just do a test on them. I just don't know enough about it yet to
Okay.
get back with you, but
We'll just
looks
keep it
like the
on.
cost is gonna be lower for like the first 3 years, you know how that is, and then we'll see what it is. We don't really have a choice on this.
Yeah.
We have to do this, period, but
Right.
I'm just trying to keep you in the loop of what I know how to do, or what I know, which isn't a whole lot. I'm still working with
Right.
several contractors, but I'll keep you more in the loop on it when I know a little bit more about it.
Thank you.
Of course.
You guys know I got my phone put in, my house phone. It doesn't work, and it won't ever work in Darlington.
That's depressing.
Spent 4 hours putting this tower thing in, and giving me another new tower for my internet. And we have what they call copper. I don't know what that means, copper wire, copper whatever.
You do. That's what they're getting rid of. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all we have here. They're not gonna put anything else here. So nobody in town can have a home phone anymore. They're done.
Yeah. Just
I was really upset.
really puts my parents in jeopardy who don't have a cell phone.
Talked to them about it. I said, what do they do for the older people that don't have cell phones? Well, they just won't have a phone again.
That's not the answer.
No,
It really isn't.
Shouldn't be the answer.
no,
Let me say that.
I was mad.
Well, the bad thing is, like, we're too deep, because it doesn't really matter what we think, but if they're gonna take the landlines out, they need to build that tower out there and quit.
Exactly.
Quit
Yeah,
dragging
well,
their
they
feet.
said they don't have
My
money.
cell phone bill says they can afford it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah.
You got that right. This is an argument that I have like weekly with this guy. So, yeah, it's
So
frustrating.
we're probably still working on the community crossing grant.
Yeah, it'll be in July when it starts going
That's what
forward. I don't know that, as Tyler said he was working on that.
Yeah, and I didn't get anything from him yet. for the
I
accounting
didn't
place
either,
yet.
so I'm
Okay,
sure
we'll keep
he's
it.
still
Yep.
working on that.
Okay, and do we have any kind of report from Tyler other than that you have?
No, nothing other than what we've already discussed. No.
I didn't get a report from.
He did not. He worked yesterday, but I didn't get one either. Like he must have. Yeah, because I don't have a calendar or a.
Yeah, the monthly
thing.
schedule.
I don't have that.
Activity log.
No.
Okay. Do you have anything from Bob right now?
Yes, Bob has a request that he would like to put signs on the diamonds that no dogs are allowed on the diamonds.
No what?
Because
Not
dogs.
that we have to do that, but.
I mean, it's.
They see a big fenced in play yard is what they
Yeah,
see.
right.
But what they leave,
Yes.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
it's in the. I don't even have to explain it. You all know.
Tell him to do it, it probably won't stop it, but it
Yeah,
might help.
Well, it gives him the ability to go get off the diamonds.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's probably telling him to get off the diamonds anyways.
Right.
But but a lot of times he ain't there. But it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So.
I don't know if he has a place to get them, but Mike Morrison would probably have them made up in no time.
Yeah, I will say
Are
something to
people
him.
letting their dogs go up there unattended? or are they with?
Well,
Probably with them, it's
So
just.
I don't
whatever,
know.
they just let them roam. They don't. they
Kevin's
know.
supposed to be getting cameras, and Bob's a part of that camera deal, so we can get better cameras up there. But we've got cameras; they're just not great.
Sure.
And I don't. Some of them I think are attended. I don't know. I couldn't answer that. I have no idea. But what they're leaving is not good. And when you're playing ball, you know, you're out the field, you're sliding, you're doing what nobody wants that. But now it's happening in the infield as well.
Oh, yeah.
So you're right. So
do we need
that's
a
an issue.
motion?
I'd appreciate it just in case somebody tries to
Make a
fight it.
motion to let Bob Cash get signs for each ball diamond at the park that say no dogs allowed.
A second.
Okay. All in favor?
I,
Aye. All opposed?
I know you were sitting there, though, what am I saying this?
Where?
I'm just repeating what I'm gonna say.
well, you know,
Do we
Sorry
have,
about that.
do we have anything from the code enforcement?
Not heard anything.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of.
I
And
could hand out a few, but no, I haven't heard anything.
I will say this back real quick on those signs. If the signs don't work, he might be coming back or whatever to impose a fine, lock the gates, impose a fine or whatever. Yeah, they'll walk along the gates, yeah, to lock the things, yeah,
In the,
yeah,
between the dugouts and the field, get
Yeah.
gates, we might have to do
yeah,
that.
because
Right.
it's,
Which obviously the big field, actually you can only do that to one field,
right,
so.
but
Oh.
do our best to,
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll come up with something, but yeah, it's just not, the ball players don't need
Right,
it
no,
either,
I
so,
agree.
yeah.
Now we're down to you.
Okay, I need a motion. This is a tracking factor for July, August, and September. I can't believe I'm saying that already. But all rates will decrease 0.000361.
I make a motion, we accept the tracking factor
I'll
for the
second.
next quarter.
I'll second.
All in favor? All opposed?
Okay,
I'm sorry, I was.
It's okay.
why were you there? I sent you the thing on Jared Hall for Crone. And it's in there for Nicole to sign.
Is this the contractor service agreement?
It's a service agreement, yeah. And the reason, because he is our electrical, he's on the electrical side, on the county side of the electrical with the bond and all of that. So his is the same as Scott's. It's an as needed thing, but you have to use him on certain things because it's just required. Now, to keep him in this situation's nice because he will be ready to go when you're ready to go as well. So, but there's a lot of different
you're
accounting
saying-
things that have to happen for the.
You saying we have one of these already with him, or we need to renew it?
This is, it's time to renew it.
Okay.
It's just a renew,
Yeah.
so I just need a motion to renew his agreement because this is about the time he came in when we were doing the electrical. So,
Okay, do I have a motion to renew the contract for
Crohn's.
Crohn's?
I make a motion to renew the contract for Crohn's.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay. I think I had, oh, let me give you an update on the tornado siren. We got the parts in, he came in today, the amplifier came in, he got that put up. The amplifier part was kicking, but there's still now there's one battery that he's gonna have to replace. He's gonna try to get back tomorrow to replace that. And I mean, that was $3,200 to get that amplifier. So when it does get going,
I'm just gonna drive around my car and go,
yeah.
be done with it.
He said-
Because that was
I wish
was
we
a,
had some education though. It's not to inform our people
No,
in the house.
it was
It's
a
meant for
huge-
people
it
who
was
are
a huge
outside to
thing.
know it's coming in. Like,
Yeah.
if you have one of these, you're gonna know.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I will put it on the chatter so that
I
they all
appreciate you
know
did say
that
yes.
it's done,
Yes.
it's ready to go.
Please, thank you.
I forgot one other thing.
after
Bob
that
texted me.
comment, I thought there was gonna be a lot more people here tonight.
Yeah. Bob is having a tournament up at the park this weekend, or bringing a tournament into the park that's going to be in Crawfordsville as well. So every time he does that, you know, it's bringing in good money for the park. So I just want you to know when you see about all that going on up there, he's trying to bring half that tournament that's going on in Crawfordsville. He'll bring part of that plane up here. Yeah,
Nice.
Cohen. So.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, I know. It is very appreciative because it's good. The town cleanup day, which is the Saturday after the garage sales on June 20th. I'd like to reach out and see if I could get a group, use the trailer from the park and the Polaris or whatever in ours, and go around and maybe see if we can't get reach some residents who can't get their trash and get their things up to the park. I'm gonna put it on the Darlington chatter, and it may be a young couple. I really don't care. I mean, if you don't have a way of getting your things to the park, that provides no service to anybody. So I didn't know if you guys would have a problem with that, if we could just put some people together to see if we can get the elderly or whomever. I don't really care. I don't care. Whoever needs it. So I'm gonna put that out there then. That's great. Got the flower pots done downtown. My cat did destroy the one at the wine company. It just literally destroyed the whole entire pot. I mean, it's all laying on the sidewalk. Yeah. The other thing, I don't think I talked to Kevin yesterday, but I meant to, but we did fire it up in the Darlington chatter. We are having a real problem with underage drivers on golf carts. Major problem. Major problem. So they have been stopped. I will send something to Kevin on it too. But, you know, if you get asked, one, the golf cart needs to be permitted through the town, but two, you have to be a licensed driver. Yeah, it's not a 16, you have to be a licensed driver because you're on a street. So, going to fire that back up, probably on Darlington chatter too, as, hey, here's a reminder, because your 10-year-old can't be driving the golf cart. So that is one thing that was, I guess there were some kids that were really getting a little crazy. Okay, yeah, I know, I've been told several times. So I think you can go on. If there's something else, I'll let you know, but I think that's the gist of mine, other than I gave you a staff, Nicole, that just requires your. I do have 2 mileage claims in there. One is for Mike and one is for me. I had to go to a class in Rockville. So I do need motions for Mike's and for my mileage
Make
claims.
a motion to pay Michelle Cash and Mike Smith their mileage amounts.
Second. Oh, I have to.
Okay, I
Yeah.
signed something different.
I can't vote either.
Huh?
What is this, the contractor service agreement?
Oh, you don't need that one. Just ignore that.
Okay.
That's the tree trimming one that he finally got to me, but you guys have all put a
Okay.
cap on that and exactly where
I'm
you
sorry,
want it.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
And you're sustaining.
I abstain.
Yes, I didn't mean to put that in there. I apologize, Nicole. The utility billing report.
Yes.
Utility billing report. I don't know if, we always have the same amount of people move out that move in. So that's always a good thing. I will say the 2 properties that that was Brant's up on Madison is completely redone. The next one will be where Jerry Dale lived. I don't know if anybody knew where Jerry Dale, but the same company is redoing that one too. They got it as well. And I did file any of the unpaid liens that we have, so that'll be coming out in the tax draw. Now, not our electric. So down here, we did not put the meter in until that was paid in full. So that's been collected. That it's the same one with that one over there too. So.
I hope Larry came smiling down.
I know. Well, I know Joy's pretty happy. So they did a really nice job. They did a really nice job. So, yeah. Okay. Pretty sure that's it.
Marilyn, do you have anything?
Not really, but I just do think we need to think about the little raise. I don't know if we can do that, like say a $2 raise on everybody on food. We just got to do something.
I'm sorry, a what?
On the sewage. We need to-
Oh, it's like, well, you can't just do that by a vote. That has to go through 3 ordinances and then it has to be publicized.
I
So,
just think we need to think about something because we aren't getting ahead there. I know.
the bad part about that is you already had a rate study done on a loan that said that these set amounts were,
They were high.
Paid alone.
I mean, it is. A problem is that, like Brian said, supplies and materials are insane.
Insane.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree with you. I mean, I think that'll happen when you guys decide what you're going to do with the plant.
It's gonna have to happen.
It will.
It is.
I mean, the stormwater you could, because the stormwater isn't a rate driven, you don't have a lot. You could raise that, which you did. But to go through the process to raise that utility on wastewater is going to be the same process that you did with the electric. Yeah. Mhm.
Jennifer?
Saturday, they had the alumni banquet here, and they went to hook up the sound system with the microphone, and someone has stolen the microphone, which does them absolutely no good because it's a wireless microphone, and they left the router thing here for it. So that's like a $400 system for that. So Dan and I talked, and we're gonna get just a corded microphone, just a plug, and we'll end up having to lock that up. I mean, the only reason the speakers are still left out is because it's just a hassle for people to get that up and down up there. So, at some point, if this continues to keep little things like this keep happening, asked Michelle about maybe putting in maybe some kind of a camera.
Sure.
Because, I mean, I know who's coming in here, that way I can say, hey.
Right.
This is what's going on. So I have put locks on the doors going up to the stage, but that doesn't really stop anybody because they can just roll right up on the stage. So Dan said that they will help with the replacement of the microphone, so.
Thank you.
Nope.
Jeremy, nothing? Teresa?
The only thing I don't know if you guys can help me with this or tell me what I need to do. My neighbor across the street has raccoons coming in and out of his house because there's a big hole on the side of his house. There's 4 to 5 gigantic holes in his roof. It has to be raining inside his house. I don't know if I need to call.
I would say you start with the county health department.
Call the county health department.
Let them know, and they can do a check to see if this is a livable.
It's not inhabitable.
Well, and I know we tried to trap one of them because it was trying to come in our shed. And Michelle's like, it's probably coming from that house, but because we just live around the corner and it was not in good shape. I mean, it's like stumbling and.
I would start there, and they can tell you if they can't. I think they can give you a resource or direction where to go. But that's what
I just can't believe he's living here. It's sad.
You'd be surprised.
I know.
Okay, I don't have anything. Our next meeting has been changed to Tuesday, so June 2nd, 2026 at 5 p.m. will be our next meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Oh,
Back the paper.
If somebody's a
Sign the paper.
I need a stamp. My name's too long.
You want to get overtime pay for this one.